And the next thing you know, I got hired to do NHL on TNT. And I've been so grateful to just be a part of that whole franchise. And the fact that the NBA guys like Shaq, Chuck, Ernie, all of them have kind of set the table and transformed the way that broadcast should be.
Yeah.
Like we're so much looser and able to snap it around at that pace because those guys had done what they done what they did prior. And TNT and Turner is just a dream to work for.
Now, you started in social media.
Yeah.
That's how everyone kind of found you.
Yeah.
Then you jumped over into the mainstream and you work with TNT. How the fuck has that been? Because I'm in this world now too, and it's a fun world. How is it for you guys?
So I don't think I would be on TNT if it wasn't for the Spit and Chicklets podcast. So Rear Admiral, RA as we call him and Witt started the pod, and Mike Grinnell, our producer, hopped on, and then it kind of evolved to what it was. Before I hopped on that, I actually started as a color guy with the Coyotes after I retired. So doing the full game and talking for the 3 hours really prepared me for the podcast. Then the podcast got me the job with TNT because of the popularity that had grown from it. And also the fact that when I was playing with the Coyotes, Wayne Gretzky was actually the coach before I got there. The market had gone down, so he kept his home there. And his two kids, Ty and Trevor, along with my good buddy Joey Superstein, they were living in this mansion going to ASU. So I was going there and partying with them, and we were throwing these after hours. Like Tom Green would show up. Like it was just this crazy time in my life. And when the TNT gig came up, Wayne Gretzky was already hired. And when they were talking about people to add, Ty and Trevor, his kids were like, Dad, why don't you get Biz on board? Like he's a fucking clown online. Like he would be awesome for the broadcast. So Wayne's like, all right. And then he mentioned it to them. I went in for a trial and hit it off with Liam McHugh, who's an incredible bus driver. And then, yeah, he's an unreal bus driver. Like this guy's motor's insane. And then Anson Carter, who'd already been doing it. And the tryout went great. And the next thing you know, I got hired to do NHL on TNT. And I've been so grateful to just be a part of that whole franchise. And the fact that the NBA guys like Shaq, Chuck, Ernie, all of them have kind of set the table and transformed the way that broadcast should be.
Yeah.
Like we're so much looser and able to snap it around at that pace because those guys had done what they done what they did prior. And TNT and Turner is just a dream to work for.
Yeah,
it's been world first class and couldn't be more grateful.
It's so fun because I work at Fox and it's fun watching you guys. And from my experience, getting to go to work and see Howie Long, Terry Bradshaw, it gives you my football fix. Like everyone asks, well, don't you want to coach? I'm like, fuck no, those guys have no lives. I still get my football fix by going to work and talking old war stories with Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, Michael Strahan, all those guys, and have that locker room vibe. How's the locker room vibe with fucking your guys? You got Gretzky. Like, how is it to get to work with the fucking great one every day?
It's surreal. And my first year, especially because he was doing a little bit more. And I'm even shocked the fact that he's doing it. He's done so much as an ambassador for the game. He does so much for the alumni. So the fact that we even get to be in his presence is incredible. And our first year, before Rick Tocchet, his good buddy, had got a head coaching job with the Vancouver Canucks, after broadcast, we'd go back to their, whether it was Wayne or Rick's room, and they would just tell these stories for hours and hours. And so I'd be up till 4:30 and I'd have a 6 a.m. car going, but I didn't care. I just wanted to be hearing these iconic stories that have transformed the game and stories that you hear about on television when they're breaking it all down, but even like more of the intricacies. Is that how you say it?
I'm not a word guy.
Me neither. Yeah, that's why I tried a big one. That's like 4 syllables. I should probably stick to my game, eh? Off the glass and out. The little details. That's what the details.
Yeah, little details.
Even more so. So just to be around him and be in his presence, it's like I pinch myself all the time. He's the greatest to ever do it. And also the reason they call him the great one is not because of what he accomplished on the ice, but also what he's done off the ice. Like there's no bigger guy. Like all he wants to do is help the former players, whether it's get them insurance and grow the game and just help everybody out in the hockey world. And just an unreal ambassador for the game of hockey.
He seems like just a nice guy.
He is the man, dude. He's the man.
He looks like I've never met him.
He's the best.
He seems so cool.
I'll tell him next time he's here. I bet you he would come on your podcast.
I would love to have fucking Wayne Gretzky on the goddamn podcast.
Because his kids help run his hockey school, his merchandise, so they're keeping it as a family business. And they run his socials. So he went on the Theo Vaughn podcast.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, Dad, go on this. And he'll be like, okay. So he just loves it. And he
seems like a great family guy. But that's like we were very fortunate in our sport to have a great face guy too, like Tom. The guys that are faces of leagues and that are generational greats, they're not just that because they're great on the field or on the ice. It's because they're overall just great dudes, great humans. And that's why they're so much greater than everyone.
Yeah, and exactly. And like going back, like, look at how much Tom's done for the game. Like you would think, man, go chill on a beach and go relax, go enjoy it. And it's almost like he feels like he's indebted to the game based on what it's provided his life to continue to grow it and obviously to continue to be a part of it.
And he just loves it.
And you could tell with all of them, it's just a fabric of their being. And it's just
because they respect the game and they understand. You get a lot of people that say, I'm not letting the sport define me. The great ones do.
Yeah,
they understand that they're in debt to the sport because what the sport has given us.
Yeah,
and you love that sport. You know what I mean? And that's what you see from those two specifically. What's it like watching a game with them? Is he breaking that shit down? Or what were you going to say?
Oh, yeah. That and also how it'll correlate to like just this insane monumental moment throughout hockey history. So that's the best thing with him. It's like goosebumps, choose your own ending. He could bring it anywhere. So getting to watch, he also sees it. Like, what's the term? He's almost like a savant.
Yeah.
So sometimes he'll like describe a play and I'll be like, oh yeah. Like, I don't know what the fuck he's saying. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, he should have dumped it in. But even to go back to Wayne and why he is the way he is, his father, Walter, like he was an icon in himself and probably a lot of the pressure that he took off Wayne when he was even going through it. And the fact that he was an ambassador in himself, whether he was signing autographs or doing media hits, like he really pushed it upon Wayne to continue that ambassadorship and move the game forward. And even to when Wayne was a child, his father was so innovative where he built a pond in his backyard and he would be doing drills with tennis balls. And Wayne would be like, why am I doing drills with a tennis ball rather than a puck? And he'd say, because if you can control a tennis ball, your hands will be so soft. That way, when the puck comes, you'll be able to cradle it so much smoother and softer than everybody else. And that was like, those were like little details that he taught Wayne at a young age that propelled him to be this phenom and end up living up to everything that, like kind of like McJesus, like all the hype, he lived up to every single ounce of it.